Donald Trump has just disrespected Lesotho. He says he had never heard of a country named Lesotho. So nobody knows what Lesotho is. And guess what? Everybody laughed about it. Crazy stuff. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. But I'm not happy. How can some president disregard Lesotho? That is disregarding millions of people. And no African that respect themselves should allow or laugh about this. Okay, let's listen what Donald Trump had to say.
$8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of.
What?
$60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America.
They're laughing.
$60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender.
They're laughing. Look at them laughing. I mean, I understand. Donald Trump and his team of people are trying to cut aid in a way that they want to prioritize the United States. This is their policy. They want America first. They're going to send money to countries that are supporting America's international policies. I can understand that. You laughing about that. But I don't know if I understand you laughing about your president saying $60 million to Lesotho, a country that nobody knows, and you laugh. What does that even mean? Could you ever say that about Norway? Could you ever say that about Switzerland? What makes you think everybody knows Switzerland? That's disrespectful. What was he saying here? He was naming the amount of money that USAID, which is a program through the United States of America that helps many countries in the world, has been spending money on. And even though there are many cases where the money was being spent on the things that were not necessarily important to the United States of America, making a comment saying we're spending $60 million in a country named Lesotho that nobody even knows makes any sense or sense of respect from a president. So this clearly has brought outrage on the internet. Many people are not happy about that. On Twitter, you can see people making comments. Some people saying, how can a president not know about Lesotho? What kind of a person is this one? Is he even lectured? And another person made a comment saying, maybe we should rename Lesotho Tramputu because this guy is just dumb. And some people going, okay, well, it's a good thing that Trump is mentioning the fact that there's wasting money in Lesotho by sponsoring some of these things between man and man, which does not necessarily benefit the United States of America. Now, fellas, what is Lesotho? Have you heard of Lesotho? You probably should know about Lesotho because it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. Lesotho, here is Lesotho on a map. Okay, Lesotho is a small landlocked country located in Southern Africa. It is unique and it is entirely surrounded by South Africa, making it one of the few countries in the world to be totally enclaved within another country. Beautiful place, lovely people in Lesotho. Lesotho is rich, fellas. It has a rich cultural heritage with traditional music, dance, craft, playing important role in the society. They are true Africans. Basotho culture is deeply influenced by the country's history of resistance, of colonial rules. They've been fighting. They fought for a long time, like real men. In 1868, Lesotho became a British protectorate under the name of Basotho land after colonial tension between the Basotho people and the neighboring Boer settlers. You know who the Boers are. Basotho fought against them. The country gained full independence from Britain in 1966 and became a kingdom of Lesotho. It's one of the most amazing places you can go. Lesotho is one of the rare places in Africa where you can actually find snow. Yes, snow, fellas. Go check out Lesotho with its beautiful people. Now, how can a president not know about Lesotho? Okay, Lesotho has its own problems. Truly, okay, the reason why Trump is talking about this is because of the aid the United States have been sending to Lesotho. The aid in the form of US aid, including PEPFAR. What is PEPFAR? PEPFAR is a program that helps people living with HIV to manage the disease and also provide funding for nurses and healthcare people and also prevent transmissions between mother to child of the disease. Unfortunately, Lesotho has a high HIV prevalence. Lesotho is one of the countries with the highest level of HIV in the world. Approximately 23% of adults aged 15 to 49 are living with HIV. So that's about 1 person to 4 people have HIV in Lesotho. So there is major demand for treatment. It is estimated about 240,000 people are currently on antiretroviral treatment in Lesotho, which America has decided to stop. The problem is Lesotho does not produce its own antiviral treatment. A great majority of it comes from this program from the United States of America, which many people perceive as a punishment to African countries for refusing to support entirely the United States of America's international policies and all these vote in the United Nations. Now, what has happened to Lesotho since the cut of the aid? Well, many jobs have been cut out. It is estimated about 1,500 jobs in healthcare alone has been dropped. So many nurses, many consultants, many workers cannot work anymore. And they say that government is asking some of the last year students to participate in patriotism into helping the healthcare. Now, can Donald Trump stop his aid to any country? Yes, surely he can. But can you stop the aid without necessarily disrespecting people? Is that possible? That's surely possible. You know, respect is everything. If you want support from people, you need to show them respect. It's as simple as that. You can be the biggest guy in the world. Even the biggest guy in the world needs help at some point. You cannot be the biggest guy in the world with everybody, because at some point, everybody will come against you. You won't be that big. Respect the people of Lesotho. And now we're going to Ghana. Okay, the Ghanaian president, Dramani Mahatma, is a brand new president in Ghana, if you're not aware. This is the older president. He was there for quite some time. Some people didn't like him very much because he wasn't a big fan of Ibrahim Traoré, the Niger president and Malian president. I know you love them. He didn't like them very much because he felt they were supposed to come into power using democracy and not coming by force, even though they're doing good things for their countries. Now there's a brand new president in Ghana. His name is John Dramani Mahatma. He took office in January and pledged to ensure food security by increasing local production under agriculture for economic and transformation agenda. So he wants more food for Ghanaians, more productivities, more agricultural work. But for that, the country needs a large amount of fertilizers. Without fertilizers, you can't do anything. Well, Ghana is one of the biggest producers of cocoa in the world. Cocoa is what you need for chocolate. You eat chocolate, you talk cocoa. Ghana and Ivory Coast are the biggest producers in the world for all the chocolate you get in America. It comes from Africa. Yeah. And they don't necessarily produce any in those countries, sadly. So the country needs fertilizers. Where do they get fertilizers from? From Russia. Well, the fertilizer that was ordered from Russia has been stalled. They have issues. It's not going to reach Ghana anytime soon. And that's a major problem. And why is this bothering Africans that are thinking? Because Africa is well capable of producing its own fertilizer, including its own grain, because Africa needs fertilizer and grain coming from Ukraine or Russia. How is that even possible for a country that's so rich, that's got so many things to offer? How can you get fertilizer? Well, there are many ways African can do to get fertilizers. One of the ways is to transform waste, because there's a lot of waste in Africa. Have you seen these waste places in Africa? Look at the amount of waste. This is waste in Africa. It comes from food, from elements, from all the stuff you can think about. What do they do with the waste? It stays there forever. There's only in Malawi, there was a bunch of guys, youngsters that use drones to try to establish where the wastes are near market so they can find a way to clean up the waste. You know, most of African markets are very dirty. You can use those markets to create fertilizers, amongst many other things.
On waste management, we hoped to manage this waste, and now our communities are clean, but biogas technology also provides what we call biofertilizer to people so that they can use this fertilizer instead of chemical fertilizer.
Yes, you can do that. Let me repeat myself. A lot of African markets, even though they are very original, they are Africans. They are extremely dirty because there's a lot of waste. And I'm sorry to tell you the truth. In every country in Africa, maybe except one, you will find waste that is shameful. People just go in a corner and they shit. People just go in a corner and they pee. And all that stuff could be used as fertilizers if they are treated. How can they achieve this? Very simple. Well, in Dubai, they've come up with something very interesting. They use flies, black soldier flies. What are black soldier flies? Black soldier flies are what you're seeing on the screen. These flies can eat anything and they finish it. They eat waste. They completely finish the waste. And after finishing waste, these flies are being used in Dubai to develop fuel for airplanes and protein for animals. Okay, now I don't know if they're using it for animals. They say they're using protein for animals. I get the sense that they're using these flies protein for protein powder for your big muscles. Yeah, I'm telling you. Where do you think they get the protein from? So they're using these flies to eat the waste and they process the fly into becoming fuel for airplanes, protein for animals, and fertilizers.
The black soldier fly It's a beneficial insect that eats enormous quantity of waste. So in 10 days, they grow 500 times their initial weight. They eat all the food waste that we give them. After, we harvest them and we extract protein and oil.
Black soldiers is a species whose larvae is known for their ability to consume organic waste, including food scrap, agricultural byproducts, and even animal manure. This process of waste consumption is part of the growing trend of bioconversion technology. So you can create fuel for your airplanes with flies. Black soldiers fly larvae can convert organic waste such as food waste into high protein biomass. This biomass can be processed into various products including animal feeds, bioplastics, and even used as biofuel source. The larvae also produces frass, which is a residue after digestion. It can be used as an effective fertilizer for agriculture. In some cases, the larvae themselves are being explored as a biofuel source or an input for the production of biogas and biodiesel sustainability. My brothers, we have the waste and we have the flies. Where are the brains? Where are the brains? Let's stop this. Let's stop depending on other people for food, for aid. Let's stop depending on other people for medication, for healthcare. Let's stop depending on other people even to do something about our waste. We have everything. We have the food that's rotting, places are stinking. Use the stinky place to create something sustainable for the society. Donald Trump has insulted Lesotho. Nobody likes that. You shouldn't like it if you're African. It makes absolute nonsense. Ghana shouldn't be waiting anymore for fertilizers coming from Russia. Ghana can do it. There's a lot of waste in Ghana. Look at this. This is Ghana. You just need to acquire the technology for the African continent to be free. God bless.